where points are available. Cal and Washington on the team point side, tied at 16 apiece. You take a look at the lanes. Cal is the 1 seed, and Washington the 2 seed. Stanford the 3 seed.
So it's the first time seeing the Stanford men out here today. Should be a good race from them. Strong program. They're doing a nice job coming back from their kind of a year of challenges, COVID, a lot of restrictions on the Stanford campus, some other illness from this year that affected the Stanford crews. The flu really went rampant through the team a few weeks back during the racing season. Very hard to recover from. But Coach Ted Sobolewski done a great job here in 3 challenging years at Stanford.
Of course, not to mention all the other challenges of, where we sat a year ago with Stanford not knowing if the program would continue.
Yep. Yeah, and Coach Sobolewski, they did a nice job. The Stanford alumni really rallied and helped out the program, earned their, kind of worked their way back into being reinstated. So fantastic to have 4 varsity programs here in the Pac-12. Washington, California, Stanford, and Oregon State all operating at the varsity level. These other guys that are in the race, they're club teams, student operated, Oregon and Washington State. And so California in that 2nd place position. Washington's really trying to flip it on them from the dual race.
Well, you talk about the success that Cal has had, and you mentioned it earlier. Obviously, it's a hallmark, a flagship program, and Scott Franza, the head coach, is such a big part of that, both as a student athlete, as an Olympian, and as the head coach. And he talked earlier this week about Cal's strengths.
The strength of the varsity has just been its consistency and its unflappable attitude or confidence. This lineup came together fairly early in the season and has just been on every time they're together, or every time they're tested, they rise to the challenge. It's been really fun to help guide and to watch. And then, I'm sure a lot of college sport teams are going through the same sort of adversity or same sort of challenges, but the resiliency that our squad has shown through the year, I think is what is putting us in a strong position going into the championship races.
A 3-time Olympian, a 3-time national champion as a student athlete himself.
Yeah, Scott was part of the California crew era that was really dominant. They were one of the best in the country during Scott's time. He was one of the standout athletes of that group from California. And then he did a fantastic job as a part of the Canadian national team for a number of years. Just overall, just a great athlete, a great leader for the Golden Bears. But right now, Washington, they've got the lead. They've done a very nice job in the first half of the race. California's still at that point where Washington is right. Can they break away from Cal? Can you stretch it out to the point where Cal can't catch you? And right now they are just right at that point. You can see bow to stern is the look here. Washington in the lead. California's bow is just sitting on the tip of Washington's stern. I don't know that they've broken open water quite yet, but the Washington second varsity is a confident, strong group of athletes. Very talented group, a lot of experience racing for these guys. Adam Gold, one of the best coxswains for Washington in this second varsity 8, really controlling this race well, executing with some guys with a lot of good experience. Robert Plumert from the stroke seat of that boat from the Netherlands. He's a very powerful, strong athlete. We got Adam Kroll there as well. So some good experience. Sebastian Ritter, the 7-man. Very strong, very big athletic crew for the Huskies here in the second varsity. So we're going to take a look as we get alongside. We might take a look and see has California closed that margin at all. I see California bumping that rate up and gunning for it right now. So the Huskies really chasing, trying to find speed here, staying high on the rating. I think Washington took a little bit longer to bump their rating up. California kind of attacked the move there in the last 500, and they moved up. Washington, with the lead that they had just a little bit more ability to wait for when they attack that shift of rate. But California is attacking like nothing else right now. So California and Washington into the red buoys. What a race between these two fantastic competitors. California on the right, Washington on the lower part of the screen from the drone shot. We'll get onto the finish line. You can see they're in the red buoys. This one's going to be another extraordinarily close race here between Cal and Washington. Washington's got to really fire the legs down, swing together. It could be one of those races where we see the last stroke being what determines the winner.
Washington faster through the first 1,000, but
Cal is moving. They are right, and I think it was going to be a photo finish. It looked like Cal might have just nipped them.
it did.
What a race between the two.
Cal was 2 seconds slower through the first 500, a second slower in